Welcome back to the show, everybody. The one and only triple the G.O.D. as usual, surrounded by the squadron and you. Yes, you're live right here with us, right here on Team JRF TV. And yo, I told you we weren't done with this Inti creates work because, yeah, the Luminous Avenger it ran way too long, longer than I thought it was. So I needed to separate like what Copen was doing to what Copen is doing now. And in order for us to get an understanding of what Copen is currently doing, I need to get Cuz back in the building and let y'all know what's really good. So because man, Sean was really good, baby. Yeah, this is Blaster Master Zero 2, and give me a moment while I pull this up on my main screen, just like so. It's yeah. Remember this? You remember Nintendo did an indie thing, and then this was just all of a sudden existed in our world, and I made a big deal about it and bought it the same day and beat it a while back, and we talked about it a little bit. But the good news is we are actually going to be talking about Blaster Master Zero and Blaster Master Zero 2 and a little spoiler cast that I got planned, because the little spoiler alert for all of that is for the celebration of Blaster Master Zero 2 dropping on Steam a couple of weeks ago. Is that HQA dropped a whole bunch of knowledge about Blaster Master Zero and Blaster Master Zero 2, and a lot of that stuff gets into weird spoiler territory that's like for people who've beat the game or experienced enough about both Blaster Master Zero and Blaster Master Zero 2 for it to understand it. So that's going to be a whole separate video in and of itself, because I'm trying to give Inti some time, like at least through the weekend, and see if they want to drop any more extra knowledge about that before we get into that spoiler cast, because it's going to be all about talking about my experiences with both Blaster Master Zero and Blaster Master Zero 2 and how much I have enjoyed both games and everything that Inti Creates has done to really like pay homage but do their own thing all in the same thing. And a lot of that stuff that they drop is a nothing but a love letter, that if you love a lot of Sunsoft games and things like that. But we'll be getting into that. But even given all this, knowing that you can get this, that you could have got this on the eShop for months, and this came out 2 weeks ago, you might be wondering what this has to do with our former video. Well, this, believe it or not, if it wants to load, and it does. Right now, at least for the next couple of hours, at least until Steam updates and the eShop updates, if you own Blaster Master Zero 2, you can get Copen from Luminous Avenger X for free. Now, here's the thing that I know but don't have 101% clarification of. In the instance of the Steam version, in order for you to get this DLC, you have to own the game. And that is a lot of what happens when you can't get a code for Steam for DLC separate from the game you may or may not own. So if you own Blaster Master Zero 2, I have no idea because I haven't bought it on Steam. I don't see a reason to. This is just one of those wait for a sale things, because I perfectly enjoyed my eShop version. So it just is what it is with that. So I'm assuming that if the game works similar to how the Switch version works, you would just access the option menu, the DLC, and be able to download Copen from there. But once the shops updates and things like that, you'll be able to purchase the character for $2 if you haven't already. So if you see, because if I get this video up quick enough and you are interested in this character, you know what I'm saying, save yourself $2, buy the game, get the character for free, just like that. And speaking of our boy Copen and our Lola, is that yeah, just like this. Following the free download period, look at this, man. That's some wonderful sprite work, and like I wish that wasn't on the screen right now, but Copen has a lot of options. Now, here's the other thing that I do want to talk about, because this is the thing that I ran into. When it came to downloading the character on the Switch version, is that the character was on the Japanese eShop before it was on the US eShop, or probably even the European version of said eShop. I downloaded the DLC from the Japanese eShop and was able to play that DLC in my American bought video game. And then when the update for the eShop came out where Copen was available to download, the system said I already downloaded it. So I don't know if that means for certain games where if you own the American version and there's Japanese stuff and they're compatible with each other, that if you buy on one console, it's for everybody. I'm not 101% sure about that, but I just want to let you know that that's what I ran into. So I'm just letting you know that just in case that's how you get down or whatever, that if you have those things, then given that you watching me, and I tell you all the time, you need to have an account for every major store. Multiples in Asia because you can get some games in English digitally and things like that. There are some things that that especially in the end when we talk about the PSN where you definitely need a European PSN account from wherever in Europe you want to get one from. Maybe Australia if you're filling prison colonies, or New Zealand because that's where they fill Power Rangers. But it is what it is, and always have your American account so that you diversify your fucking bonds. But yeah. Coping's all in the building, man. And like I said, as part of the crossover event, download Coping for free until December 12th as part of the DLC launch promo. This is the perfect to give Blaster Master Zero and Coping a try. So this started on the 29th, the day that this game dropped on the game dropped on Steam, and until the update today. Now, because the thing is, this is my assumption. This is my assumption because I'm working with how the eShop updates logic. Because I didn't see on Steam, because usually when a thing is about to happen on Steam, when you can see it, it usually shows a counter to when a thing is about to change. And when we just took a look at the page and I just refreshed it before I started the video, didn't show that. So it may be the whole literally to the end of the day today. I'm not sure. But if you're interested and you watch this video and you want to get this character, buy a wonderful game for $10 and get you a free DLC character. What the hell? But yo. Like I said, I played a little bit of the Homeboy Coping, and I'm like, I only played through Flosante. That's all I did because I wanted to do a full playthrough. I just wanted to just really understand what Coping does, and I'm like, Coping is a movement monster. I'm like, the way that he can use bullet dashes and stuff like that to maneuver, he don't need Giant Lola to really do a lot, but it's not like that because of the way that he can move on the overworld versus from a top-down perspective. It takes all that away. It doesn't. But there are some things that no matter how Coping can do his movement thing, it's just a lot of things that he still needs Giant Lola to do. But it gives you a different way to approach the thought of what it is you can do. And Blaster Master 01 did a great job with this when it came to the EX characters. To a degree, I really think that, honestly, given that we talking about Gunvolt, Ekiro, Shovel Knight, and my girl Shantae, and everything that they do to bring to the table, I really think Coping is a step up and a next level from those building blocks of introducing guest characters. Everybody had a thing, but most of them played, because the thing is, you're playing the same exact game. It's just that you have a different experience, and given what those experiences bring to the table, is that while it's still the same game, each of those 4 EX characters has a small divergence that Jason never gets into. And I really think that that's great because it gives you a way for those additional 4 EX characters to explore the world in a slightly different way, not completely breaking the whole sequence of things. This is not spoiler thing you get when you beat the game, or a mode where it's technically New Game Plus and you just supposed to murk everything moving. That's different. But the EX characters each have something and a way to interact with the world that Jason never gets. And I really think that even at this point, even though the characters are $2 each, and if you want to go revisit Blaster Master Zero, which you should probably best done at this juncture on Steam because it's cheaper to get into, simply for the fact that Gunvolt and Ekiro are characters that are included with Blaster Master Zero on Steam, but you still have to play for Shovel Knight and you still have to pay for Miss Shantae. So in that, and making that comparison between those EX characters and what Coping brings to the table, this Coping is on another level, and it makes me wonder who else they gonna have as EX characters, and also wondering, even if they have these EX characters, are certain characters that we meet throughout the story are going to be playable in a separate way, especially some plant girl we all love, but we'll get into that. Don't worry about it. But anyway, let's talk about the boy Coping. The shot attack. Attack instantaneously with the photon laser, and hold the shoot button to unleash rapid fire shots. So, this is a picture. Once it loads, ooh, yeah. I'm like, the thing is that because for somebody who's only watched Luminous Avenger X and understands how Gunvolt works as both Gunvolt and Coping as characters, the shot just is what it is. And it works the same in Blaster Master Zero too. Is that the shot does no damage. The whole thing is you supposed to use it to lock onto your enemy so that you put in nothing but major nasty work. And it also works in the overhead sections. I'm like, it's really great in the overhead sections, not mainly for setting up things, but it does make some things that Jason had to think about a little more because how he's changing Blaster Master Zero 2 versus Copa, who can just shoot a giant laser beam across the screen. So it is what it is. Locking on and the homing photon laser, dashing the enemies to lock on to them, and while locked on, your photon lasers will always hit their target. Basic gameplay flow, ladies and gentlemen, once this loads up. So yeah, is that once you sit up here, you dash into them, the homing laser will automatically link into them. But again, like I said, because the shot don't really do that much damage, it's only for weakening up characters and like moving basic obstacles out your way because of what ultimately you start with and what you gain in EX weapons throughout the game, just as you doing Luminous Avenger X. So let's take a look at that. See, there's your bullet dash right there, and here's that work now. See the difference between regular laser and now you're locked on and this work is getting done? Yeah, just like that. Lock on. Beep, 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 beep. Just like that. So, there you go. See what else we got. The bullet dash. Air dashing, or the bullet dash as it were, and side scrolling costs 1 bullet. By holding up and down when bullet dashing, you'll dash at an angle and bounce off walls. Here is a fun thing that you should know if you haven't played this DLC yet. The bullet dash is Copen's way of getting around. But knowing the secret of if you do a bullet dash off the wall, it doesn't cost a bullet. That's something that I didn't understand for like the first couple of minutes of playing. But then when I understood that there are two things, and now, like I said, I haven't looked at this, but I will say this. Number one, just like in things like this video game and also a reference to Gunvolt himself about charging EP and things like that, one thing you can do from a bullet dash is you can double tap down and you'll do like a shockwave and it does a little damage, but it does refill your bullets though. So you can be dashing and then dash down and then double tap down and then it'll refill your bullets. So that's something that I didn't know, but once I figured it out, it became a part of my movement tech with Cope, and it'd be like, well, I can dash off this wall, do this, and it's free, and then I can sit up here like, oh, I'm running out of bullets, ding, ding, and then hit the double tap, and then I'm refilling my bullets just like that. And it works the same way in top-down mode as well. Pre-evasion. When receiving attacks, the pre-evasion sender will automatically spend bullets to avoid damage. A Gunvolt classic, because, you know, pre-evasion. You gotta love it. And just like that. Pre-evasion, just like that. Reload. Bullets recover slowly over time, but you can also reload to restore them instantly. So yeah, they do talk about reload. So yeah, it's like you have a normal reload where if you stand on the ground, you press down twice to reload it, and you can reload it the same way in the top down section. But in the overhead section, like I said, if you do a bullet dash and then do down twice, you'll do the shockwave, and then that restores your bullets too, and also does it as an attack. The Twin Shredder. Twin Shredder and Copen and Lola's combination counterattack. When multiple counter targets are available, press the counter button repeatedly to continue the assault. This is the big move from Luminous Avenger X. This much that I know. Here's what you should know about Twin Shredder. Unlike Jason's counters in this game, is that the Twin Shredder is best used when it's a whole bunch of enemies on the screen. The thing is that for me just playing Flosante, understanding that the game wants you to press X all the time. Like, the game don't care. It's like, yo, you got enough energy. Do you wish to counter this? Yeah, press the X button. No, don't do that. Now, this is working under the assumption of me playing and loving Blaster Master Zero 2, is that Copen will probably get the opportunity to probably double his energy output at some point in the game, I'm assuming, and extend his bullets or something like that, so that you can use it more. Again, like I said, you will find opportunities because the Twin Shredder does a lot of damage, but you gotta be careful in how you use it. Now, given again, like, Twin Shredder is not Jason's counters, and I'm like, Jason's blast counters, I think, is like one of the great things, and we'll get into that when I get into the spoiler cast of Blaster Master Zero 2, is one of the best changes the game ever made because it gave Jason a way to not be on offense all the time. But that at the same time, they gave him blast countering because they nerfed level 8. Level 8 was the murder gun. Murder beam. Literal VAR Metroid murder beam. If I'm at level 8, I'm shredding anything. Now, there is some small caveats to level 8 murdering everything, because still the game Blaster Master Zero, and this is the little mini spoiler, is that it does work kind of like other games you may have heard of called Mega Man or things like that, where bosses are weak to certain weapons. So even though you can have Murder Beam all day every day, sometimes it's easier to actually use tactics and find out what weapon the boss is weak to. And then there are other things in the game, which I'll leave the spoiler cast, which flip that on its head too. But yeah, Twin Shredder is dumb. Wait till it's a whole bunch of enemies on screen. There are just certain enemies that Twin Shredder doesn't outright kill, but stuns them. And you will learn what enemies are what really quickly. So use Twin Shredder all day. Just press that X button. But you don't want to put yourself in a situation where you're using Twin Shredder and then you don't have energy to actually use Twin Shredder the way that you should. So it is what it is with that. Yeah, Copen is bringing some EX weapons with him from Luminous Avenger X. I'm going to take a look at a couple of those now. EX weapons. EX weapons can only be used by spinning the weapons gauge. This is Stellar Spark. Fires lightning bolts in the direction in which Copen is facing. While locked on, the Stellar Spark will attack the target with a focused barrage of lightning. And the thing is that the other thing that we're going to get into is that Copen has a variety of EX weapons. Now, I don't know if the EX weapons that we went over are even darkness triggers in the game, because I haven't made it that far, because remember, I only play for Sante. But there are some weapons that can only be used in one view or the other, and there are weapons like this which can be used in both views. So you have to really keep in mind as you find EX weapons and build up Copen's arsenal about what you're using and why. Because for a second I got kind of confused on that. Like for 2 seconds it was something that, like, when I started the game went over my head like that, and I didn't really get it. But once I understood and knew what my weapons were and were able to get additional ones, at least the one or two you flying from Sante, it made combat a lot more fun, because it gave me a lot more options to deal with my enemies. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, you start the game with Stellar Spark, because that's the one thing that works in both top down and overhead. So it is what it is with that. And you'll find some additional ones too. So there's a bomb. We talked about that. Oh, there's this one. Yeah, we talked about that one too. Yeah, we talked about that one too. I know what that one is, and this one too. So yeah, you can find a whole bunch of stuff. Oh, all these are linked together. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, and this is Giant Lola, or G Lola, and we're playing the Copen. You're riding a special metal attacker, G Lola. Now, to quickly highlight this, one of the small problems I had with 01 was everybody rolled in a colored version of Sophia the Third. Everybody rolled in a different color version of Sophia Third. The Sophia worked all the same. Now, I don't know if Lola works any different. The only thing is that because of, and this is a thing, because Lola is not Fred, the ability works the same, but it's the same, except no Fred. And we love Fred because Fred is not a frog, but he's a frog, and he's our frog buddy, and we love him. I do legitimately have a question about how the end game works. If for nothing else, we probably need to play it for that. Maybe we might do a playthrough of this. I'm not sure how I want to handle this, but we'll figure it out. But bring it back to me, please, because we have got some additional work to do. So thank you, Big Cuz. Appreciate the love. Now hold on, before I switch back to me, am I forgetting anything? So yeah, you should be seeing this video, buying the game if you're interested in Copen and getting them for free for things like that. Both on the Switch and on Steam. And Blaster Master 01 is also on Steam. And and like I said, you gotta pay for Shantae and you gotta pay for Shovel Knight, but Gunvolt and Necro are free because they're Inti creates characters. So it is what it is. So yeah, you can go ahead and switch it back to me. Alright. So I'm finna press this button very carefully. And what I'm finna do is I'm finna get little sis up in her, because we going all over the place. So I got a little treat for everybody. I'm like, I actually had to go on Twitch to get some work because I've been trying to feature this video for weeks because we got the Copen trailers to watch, and we got the introduction to Blaster Master 02 on Steam trailer to watch, and we got a little bonus just so I can throw it in because even though I own the game, I haven't really sat down and gotten to it yet, and that's something that me and Jai King gonna have to do. I'm gonna have to link up with him. He probably ain't even thought about the game since he bought it, and I was able to get the game on a good lick, so we probably need to start playing that and doing something with that. But with all of that being said, yo, little sister Street, she needs you to illuminate the doctors. Please show them the light. Just like that. There you go. So, let me minimize this here, because we don't need that no more. Alright, so you finna see some work for me, and I already told you what the work is, so let's get it on. Now activating Blaster Master 02 cross Luminous Avenger X.exe. Yep, had to rip this from a trip stream. This is the original the original English version of the Copen Coming Soon trailer. Like in case when they did their live stream, I had to like do a clip and download this. So this ain't even the real thing, like, cause there's a Japanese version of this trailer, and I was waiting for like an English version of the trailer, and here's Twin Shredder. That's Twin Shredder at work right here. So yeah. Man, you gotta love this 8-bit version of Igniter though. I ain't even gonna stunt though. I'm like the love that is being shown here is like a wonderful thing. Big giant laser beam. Big giant laser ball, whatever. Laser beam.
Action is back. Blaster Master 02.
Now hear the live real.
Inti creates and Sunsoft present Copen from Gunvolt Chronicles Luminous Avenger X makes his way to Blaster Master 02 as a new playable character. Utilize Copen's arsenal of EX weapons to make short work of the mutant threats that stand in your way. Your trusted partner, the combat pod Lola, has joined the fray too. Just like in their original game, she can use the power of the Muse to support Copen in battle. Make full use of Copen's exceptional mobility in both top-down and side-scrolling sections of the game. Copen and Lola's intergalactic adventure is about to begin.
I just realized that thing had Lola's face on it. That's dope. I love that touch. That's nice.
Copen Character DLC, available November 29th. Take advantage of the special launch promo and download it for free until December 12th, 2019. You won't want to miss this opportunity.
Excuse me. And here the stage trailer right here. Just to let you know, just so.
Inti creates and Sunsoft present the long-awaited sequel to the mutant blasting action-adventure game, Blaster Master 0. Your new battle tank, G Sophia, is equipped with the Gaia system. Harness SP for its weapons and abilities anytime it falls from tall heights or takes damage. Build your arsenal of powerful sub-weapons and blast any mutant scum that stands in your way as you traverse each stage. Jason also has some new tricks up his sleeve. He can now counter enemy attacks with the blast counter. If timed just right, they can be chained into multiple attacks that dish out lots of damage back at the enemy. In Blaster Master 02, the stage is set in outer space, and there's more to explore than ever before as you travel across the galaxy to a host of different planets and their orbiting planetoids. Search for new items that power up both G Sophia and Jason. During your journey, Jason and Eve will cross paths with a motley cast of fellow metal attacker tank pilots and their support droids. Will their fellow pilots become trusted friends or bitter enemies? Mutant blasting action is back! Blaster Master 02! Take advantage of the special launch promo and download it for free until December 12th, 2019. You won't want to miss this opportunity.
Bonus stage! You'll see what I mean. The latest update to Dragon Warfare for Death. And I can't wait to start to get to this game for real. Like, man, I'm like, I just wish I was able to get the Japanese limited edition version of this, like, for real. Just like this is something to have on my shelf, because it looks so cool. Like, I really got to get into this game, and I feel bad that I didn't get into it the way that I wanted to, but I'm hoping, man, 2020 that puts a change in it, you know what I'm saying? And there you go. Liz says, thank you very much, man. Appreciate it. So, to review, folks, let me see. Get that Luminous Avenger X in your system. Go buy Blaster Master 02 in the next couple of hours on whatever system you got it on. And if you weren't aware that the boy Coping is free until stuff update, then you need to get that in your system ASAP. You need to do that. I'm like, yo, Inti Creates is murdering the game right now when they stay murdering, and I'm interested to see what they got next. I'm hoping to see some stuff for Luminous Avenger X. I got a feeling Blade gonna be playable. I got a feeling they gonna flip the game and they gonna make that boy Blade playable. So it'll be interesting to like see what it is that they do. We still got that Blaster Master spoiler cast or whatever it is that I'm gonna call it, and we're going to discuss my hopes and wants and needs for how they proceed in the future, and we're gonna go over all that good stuff that they did go ahead and post on their Twitter, so we can go through that and have a good time. But that probably won't be till sometime next week, so don't be expecting that, because there's still some other catch-up items that I need to take care of most definitely. But regardless of that, plenty of more show for you, so please sit back, relax, and stay tuned. Me, Mr. Pop That Thing. I'm, of course, the one on the triple, the G.O.D., a.k.a. Mr. CRSCKCOCINE, hashtag entertainment's #1 dope man, exclamation point. That is me always serving you the work, and of course, woo! I'm, of course, the baddest monster in existence, and don't you ever forget it. Always holding down my six and squish, murder, random squadron, and congregation. May they be praised, and the trinities, the ladies of rage, Betsy, Magdalene, and of course the girl bringing you all this heat. Miss Marcy holding down the ones, the twos, the threes, and the fours. Throw them dubs up. We stay winning, never losing around here. You know what it is. Yo! If you made it to the end of this and you ain't subscribed, hit that button. And then hit that button next to it. It's called the bell to let you know when we putting out this work. If you like it, hit that thumbs up. If you didn't, hit that thumbs down. Leave a comment if it is you got something to say. And if you got something to say off world, yo, plenty of ways down here in the bottom to get at me everywhere I am on social media right about now. And if you want to, and I just plead with you if you want to, if you want to support this show with your cash money, you can do so via the PayPal link down below, or you can join my patrons, my main man, and of course, my partner in hentai, my little brother Ryan Bomber holding me down, and of course, the focus, my boy, Young Money back, my boy Drew was really good, family. I always appreciate the love. Seriously. If you ain't got Coping, you got a couple hours to get them. If my verbiage of understanding how Japanese people relate things to us in English is, or you got to the end of the day, but you still need Blaster Master 02 in your system, and go cop Blaster Master 01 and all the stuff in there. Support great developers making great things. Just do that. You know what I'm saying? Do that there. But seriously, plenty, and and I mean plenty of more show for you. And we've got it right after these commercial messages. What did I just say? Video's over. So if you ain't got Blaster Master 02 in your system, you ain't got that X, you ain't got nothing to create them. Spend that cash, yo, get that Dragon Mark for Death. Like, yo, if y'all get Dragon Mark for Death, yo, maybe we can link up and do something. Maybe we can make a thing out of it. Give you something to do, you know what I'm saying? Like, interact with the family more. Seriously. More show for all of you. Right after these commercial messages.